Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy J Trip, and I am live giving you an update on what's happening with me in my life and where I've been. You know, um, let's go back to this year. So, I last year, fall of 2018, I was going to school and I was going to get a bachelor's in graphic design, and um the school I was going to, it decided to close. And right when I had two classes left. So, you know, I was unable to finish. And I wasn't able to get into, I tried to get to one school and I couldn't get into that school. And I thought maybe it was because for some reason they just, you know, it was not good. And also it was going to take me another year and a half. It's going to take me another year and a half to finish. So, just didn't decide I want to go there. So then I tried to go to another school, right around Robert Morris University, and that was early in 2019. And I got into that school, but I couldn't get the money to go to that school. And the reason why I couldn't get the money to go to that school was because um, I was using the cosigner, my mother, and she had taken out, um, something to get my stepfather another car. So she had taken out something so that they can get another car. So that was on them. So then they couldn't supply me for the loan to go to school. So unfortunately, that didn't work out. And so now I was at school, and here I was, and I was, I was really just in a crazy spot. So I kind of made a deal with my mother. And I said that if she would be willing to take out a loan, a $10,000 loan, and then we could go 6 months. We could use the money for that $10,000 for 6 months, and in those 6 months, I would be trying to get a job. I'll be trying to get a job, and then hopefully I could continue to you know to live here. And she agreed, and so she took out the loan, and then we did that. And 6 months went by, and just basically still no job. And it was just, and I just and it's amazing. I just don't know why, why I couldn't find a job. I couldn't find any job. The only people that would be willing to hire me are these people that do like these sales jobs and these door to door sales. And to be honest, y'all, first off, they work off commissions, and that's not something that is for me. I want to get something that is, I know that I have money coming in. And two, I wouldn't be a good salesman. I really don't. I mean, really, because like when I get phone calls, that people want to try to get me something, I get upset. And I don't want to hear that. So, and especially if they would come to my door to door sales. No, I just. But it seems like that's the only people that would want to try to give me a job. So, oh, but then lucky when you have it when you know it, when I'm basically at my last, I'm at my last day in September, the last day, and September was, it was frustrating that the beginning of September, because I didn't have a lot of money, or anything like that. I wasn't eating, like I had been. Which you can say is a good thing is I lost weight. Over these 6 months, I lost over 60 pounds. Right? I was, when I had my surgery, my neck surgery back in March, and neck surgery didn't help either. I couldn't know what to do, what to look for a job because, I had to take it easy with my neck. But when I had my neck surgery, I was about two, I was a little over 290 pounds. And back in September, um, I had a spell where I fell out. And so I called the paramedics and I had them come pick me up and take me out because I was actually out looking for a job interview. I was actually trying to get to that job interview, and I got twisted up and turned in the wrong direction, and I was somewhere where I shouldn't have been, and whatever. But I passed out, so went to the hospital, and I was hospitalized for a couple of days. And in there, I found out that I was about 235, but I also found out that I was dehydrated. So, and I was dehydrated because I was taking a lot of medication for high blood pressure and diabetes that I didn't necessarily need anymore since I've lost 60 pounds. And that kind of along with not eating, kind of it made me dehydrated, and that's why I fell out. Anyway, um, like I said, I was going to a job interview. So I was, and they wanted me to stay longer. I said, no, I've got to. I got to get out because I got to try to find me a job because I want to stay here in Chicago. So that's what I did. I went and I stayed out and I get out. I wrote the thing, signed the waiver so that I could go. And then I get in touch with them and I get another appointment set up. And I went to that appointment and when you know it, I got the job. So bam, here was I got a job. And I was just thinking, hey, it's a job. I got a job. It's a job, right? But it was out in Oak Brook, Illinois. I live in Rogers Park in Chicago, Illinois. That's a 2.5 hour commute on public transportation. It's a 2.5 hour commute. And boy, it was just and the job was kind of iffy too. The job was kind of a sales job. You had to call owners of businesses to try to get them to take an appointment with a local rep so that they would change the way they process credit and debit cards. So if you go to your local store, Jewel's, Walgreens, whatever, Target, Walmart, you know, you know, that terminal that that you put your card in with the chip or you slide your card in. Yeah, you would want to. That's processing credit and debit cards. So we would try to get them to change that, not necessarily the terminal, but basically who they would process with. It would be the company that I was working for, and they. So I was working for that, and so then again you get people because they don't want to. They think that you're soliciting and selling something and kind of you kind of were, even though you weren't supposed to say that. You weren't supposed to say no. This I'm not trying to sell you something that you already have. It was a whole spiel, and that was crazy. But and I had set up some appointments. I had set up some appointments, but I wasn't doing too well at it, and it just didn't work out. And so it was a 30-day thing, a 30-day plan, and a 30-day tryout, and it just didn't work out, right? So yeah, I was back losing the job, not not having a job, looking, and I thought things were different. I thought things would be different because, especially since I had worked in a call center, and there was this one place. It would be like working for a third party for Comcast. I thought I had that job, man. I thought this the person I interviewed with, she's like, well, you've done this and you've done this work and and she was doing all of these things. I'm like, I got this job, and sure it's another call center, but this time I'm calling for collections, but it's a lot different, right? It's a lot different, and so it was just I thought I had it, but I didn't get it, and so here we are. We're a month later, and I'm still not working. Still not working. The reason why I haven't been posting videos, and the reason why I haven't been streaming over on Twitch or doing my podcast or anything like that, is because my internet had been cut off and my cable had been cut off. So I'm not watching television. I'm not, my internet's cut off. So right now the way I'm connected to the internet, the way I'm live streaming right now is I'm using one of the Xfinity hotspots that is all around the city. So I'm using an Xfinity hotspot to connect to the internet, and that's how I'm live streaming. So yeah, and that's why you guys haven't seen any videos from me and heard from me from a little while, because my stuff's cut off. And here I am now. I haven't paid my rent yet, and I'm trying to. I gotta wait to get the 5-day notice, so that once I get the 5-day notice, I can go to this website and maybe get some help for my rent. And if I can get help for my rent, then I get another extra month. I can stay in November. I can pay the rent for November, and I get to stay in December. But then what happens in December, right? So yeah. So if all of that doesn't happen, and I got a job interview for a part-time job, not a full-time job, but it's a part-time job. And so I'm hoping maybe I get that. If we get a part-time job, maybe that might help also with getting the help from the place to pay my rent. So all of that stands up. So now the thing is, what happens if none of this happens? And none of this happens. If you can't get help, for paying your rent, what happens? Well, if I get the job, I have to choose on whether or not I want to be homeless or whether I want to go down to Charlotte and live with my mother. And that sucks. That sucks on several levels. It sucks because as a 37-year-old man, I shouldn't have to move in with my mother. I shouldn't have to, ask my mother for help to get a loan, to help me out, really. But life just hasn't gone my way, so now I have to move in with my mother. And it's not that, tragedies happen. If there was like a major tragedy, like if my building burned down, or the apartment building I lived in, if it burned down, or if something happened, like we don't get too many hurricanes and things like that, obviously being in Chicago, or even earthquakes, or tornadoes. But if a natural disaster happened and it left me without homeless, and then you moved in, that would be fine. That would be understandable. But just because of the fact that it's because I can't get work, and people don't want to hire me, and I don't know what it is. I had somebody call the other day. They were from a staffing agency, and they were talking about the fact that I guess it's because I've never done real work before. I've had this 30-day. This 30-day thing was actually my first paying job. I I had a couple internships when I was trying to do school. I had an internship when I was trying to do radio broadcasting, and I did an internship when I was doing the farm when I was going to school for pharmacy tech. So this jazz job was like my real first job, and so you're kind of like, well, what's going on? So I don't know. So now I have to move in with my mother, and then the main issue is that I have to move all the way to Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't want to do that. I really don't, because I like Chicago. Chicago is the only thing I've known for 37 years. It's a place that's raised me. I grew up in it, and I grew up because of it. I love the cold weather. People are complaining that it's November and it's 19 degrees. I love it. This is what it should be. I got to go down to Charlotte where it's going to be, damn near warm. That sucks. And I think the biggest thing is the fact it's a whole lot of things. You know, it's like the fact that I'm back to Chicago. I'm not gonna get the opportunity to come back to Chicago and live here where I want to live. I'm gonna be stuck down there for the rest of my life. And that's what I don't want. I don't want to be stuck down there. If I'm gonna be stuck anywhere, I want to be stuck here in Chicago. And that's like the biggest fear. But I mean, it just seems like that's the only thing to go. I mean, like I said, if I can get help from this place, it's like the Catholic Charities place. If I can get help from this place, then maybe something can happen. I mean, if I can come up with another job, and something happen, maybe I'll get some luck. But the only luck I have is bad luck. And me trying to be a content creator, that's not been helpful either. I don't know. I've been trying since 2017, and I don't know. I'm I haven't this hasn't worked out the way I wanted it to work out either. With YouTube, I thought that by now I would be growing and I would be catching on, and I would be making some money from this. And I don't make money from this, and I don't make money from Twitch, and don't make money from the podcast. And this is really what I kind of want to do. I want to do the content creation. That would be my ideal thing. Just to be able to talk about wrestling and sports and play video games, do all of this content creation, to do my reactions and my try not to laugh, to do all of this. And it's this hasn't turned out the way I wanted it to turn out either. And so now here I am. I'm quite frankly a week away from possibly having to go down to Charlotte, North Carolina. And there's part of me that's trying to think of it like, hey, you can go down there, you can, think positive, but it's hard to think positive when you've had 37 years of suck happen to you. And there are like some personal things also that I'm going through, and I don't want to talk about those right now because that's I just don't want to right at this point. Maybe at one point I may talk about it. I don't know, but yeah, it just really seems like that this is not. It really just seems like that I wasn't supposed to be happy. That's what it really feels like. It really feels like I wasn't supposed to be happy. Like everybody else can be happy and do what they want to do and be who they want to be, except me. I'm the one that has to suck and have everything go not my way, and it's a horrible way to feel. It really is. You just feel worthless. You don't feel like living, and it sucks. It really does. And I'm just really ready for this to be over. I'm just really is. I'm gonna try to think positive, and I'm gonna try to, you know, it can maybe start something back. And my mom, she wants me to go down there, and she wants me to go back to school again. I'm trying to figure it out, even if that's gonna work, because am I gonna, am I gonna get the money to go to school down there? You know, so I don't know. Everything just sucks. Everything just sucks right now. So if there are any, if there are any more generous people who are watching this, who want to help a brother out, I have my PayPal link is down in the description box below, and my Cash App is down there. If you can send me a couple $1,000, that would be that would be helpful. But that's not gonna happen, because I'm not that lucky with that either. I'm following that guy Bill Pult, whatever. He's a so-called Twitter philanthropist, and he's giving away his money on Twitter, and apparently he's supposed to do something for Instagram as well. But again, that doesn't seem to be what happens for me. I don't get those things. Don't happen for me where I get you know I get money like that. So yeah, he has a post on Twitter. He's giving $20 to random followers tonight.